Today we're going to do something different. I'm going to bring you guys along with me on a cross-country flight from Phoenix down to Yuma. Very routine cross-country flight for me. I've been doing this flight for 10 years now. So yeah, let's get started. We're already pre-flight, we got fuel. We're going to get in and I will show you guys kind of how I navigate and whatnot to get down to Yuma. All right, we got our standard 6 plus our aft CG. We have 26.0 volts. We're good to start. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. Alright, our pre-flight is complete. Our Garmin is on and tracking us. Let's get our ATIS information.
Falcon Tower information Sierra 2054 Zulu, wind 020 at 10, temperature 24, dew point -6, altimeter 3014. Visual approach and use landing in departing runways 4 left, 4 right. Notice to airmen, drone activity in the vicinity of Falcon Field at or below 400 feet AGL. Check FTC NOTAMs for cranes and approach minimums. All arrivals south of runway centerline, contact tower 124.6. All arrivals north of runway centerline, contact tower 119.7. Advise notice of contact, give information Sierra.
Information Sierra, so this can be simple. We're just basically gonna go southbound. Once we get southbound, we'll get established on our flight plan. Falcon Field, helicopter 505 Echo X-ray at Helipunta Seco southbound, information Sierra.
The full call sign is 235 Echo X-ray.
It's helicopter 505 Echo X-ray.
Helicopter 505 Echo X-ray, Falcon Tower, say request.
We are at Helipunta Seco, go southbound with information Sierra.
Helicopter 5 Echo X-ray. Departure from Helipunta will be at pilot zone, rest remain south of runway 4 at extended center lanes, on course approved out of below 2000.
On course for out of below 2000, 505 X-ray.
4 right, line up and way Oxford 5246.
Cessna 6190901, turn base, traffic holding in position, runway 4 right.
Turn base for 4 right, 6190901.
Turkey 17 Julie, turn right, Delta 8, contact ground.
Alright, Delta 8, contact ground, have a good day, 771 Julie. Falcon Tower, Oxford 4065 with information Sierra requesting green arrival.
Oxford 4065, Falcon Tower, runway 4 right.
4 right, Oxford 4065.
Oxford 4263, correction 5246, fly straight out, runway 4 right, clear for takeoff.
Straight out 4 right, clear for takeoff, Oxford 5246.
Alright, so we're going to follow this road south for a little while, get our autopilot on, heading mode, altitude. I'm going to set our altitude at 1800 feet. She said at or below 2000. 18 gives us some space there. It still gives us plenty of altitude.
Falcon Tower, traffic 2 mile, final, fly straight out, runway 4 right, clear for takeoff. 4 right, fly straight solid.
We're going to continue south until we are clear of Falcon, and then we will resume on course. Our first waypoint is going to be Stellar. We'll cross midfield there, and then south of the Australian Mountains, and continue west towards Yuma. Should be getting a frequency change anytime here from Falcon. Sometimes they give us a frequency change, sometimes they don't. We'll see what happens today. So we are clear of Falcon. Let's go to Comm 2. We'll listen to Phoenix air-to-air traffic. Let's see if there's any other helicopters around. We'll switch to Stellar as we get closer. We're still quite a ways out. We're at 1800 feet. I typically stay right about here. That puts us well below any airspace, and we're 520 feet off the ground. So this altitude usually works. I don't have to change too much from departing out of Falcon. We're pulling in a good amount of power. We're burning 230 pounds per hour at the moment, and we have 535 on board. We'll have more than enough fuel to get there. We should land at 260 pounds. And we're doing 115. And we got a 2-knot headwind. Our ground speed is 117 knots. If you're not familiar with Phoenix, Stellar is a private airport community bunch of homes with hangars and private runway. So there's not a whole lot of activity out of there. We'll call when we get a couple miles out. Not seeing anybody on the ADSB info either, but we'll still give it a call when we get closer. Stellar traffic, helicopter 505, Echo X-ray, 2.5 to the northeast at 1,800 feet, transitioning midfield, southwestbound. Stellar traffic. Well, nobody's around. So we just crossed midfield, and Autopilot is going to make the turn to the next waypoint, which is a custom waypoint I created, like I said, at the south of the mountains. Not much of a change of heading, just a little bit. Directly into the sun the whole way down there. And as far as communications, that's about all there is until we get to Yuma. So typically I wait until we get a little further past Stellar, and then I'll switch over to 121.5 and monitor that, as well as 123.45, which is also called fingers. It's kind of like a air-to-air frequency. People are just BSing on there. Sometimes it's kind of fun to see what people are talking about.
Buckeye traffic, running 479, turning crosswind, Buckeye.
And now we sit for the next hour and 10 minutes. This Garmin Autopilot does a fantastic job at flying the helicopter. I had the Genesis one in the last 505, and that one was constantly behind the ball. It was great on a perfectly calm, smooth day with 0 bumps. It would do just fine. However, we live in Arizona. It's constantly hot. It's January, and it's 79 degrees outside. So we always have a little bit of thermals, and it would just get lost. It would try to make a correction. It would overcorrect. Then it would overcorrect. And it would just do this, or like this, until you manually took over, reset it, and then it'll be fine for a minute, and then it would start to do it again. So you're constantly fighting it. This one, there's no problems with that. It's on it, very sharp. So it makes cross-country flying really easy, especially, you know, you go somewhere busy like California airspace, where you need to maintain a certain altitude because you're between airspaces and you need to look up frequencies or something. It just removes a little bit of workload from the pilot and allows you to find frequencies, take your hands off controls and get a drink of water, whatever it is, not to mention the safety if you end up IFR or IMC, or you get lost or disoriented or something. It's a very useful, and personally I think it should just be standard equipment in all helicopters. As we get closer to these mountains here, there is a glider port just south of the mountains. And so you kind of got to keep your eyes out for gliders or tow planes. And they also do a lot of skydiving. So this is kind of a busy little area. So typically you want to have your eyes peeled. We are pretty low. We're 400 feet above the ground. Typically you don't see too many tow planes down here. But every once in a while you'll get bush planes or something like that. But still keep my eyes peeled. The Autopilot's gonna turn direct to Yuma, fly right through this little cut here. And now we're direct Yuma. 125 miles to go. For in-flight snacks today, we have some candy hearts Zoe sent me with. And then the FBO had Sour Punch straws. Very healthy in-flight snack. And water. Lots of water when flying around the desert. I usually kick the Autopilot off and fly through this valley manually. I know that's a weird thing to say. Fly the helicopter manually. We came up an altitude a bit to get through that those mountains, and we're gonna start dropping back down now because I don't like being high. So we got the autopilot back on. We're going to start descending 400 feet a minute until we get back down to 500 feet AGL. We're passing Gila Bend now, which is about the halfway point if you're driving from Phoenix to Yuma. And the airport is a couple miles out that direction. Dropping from 1,500 feet, we're still coming down. Right now we're 800 feet AGL, the radar altimeter. So we're gonna keep dropping. 52 minutes to go. We're at ground speed of 111, 106 indicated. We could also pull in some more power. And we got a 2-knot crosswind blowing from right to left. Alright, I need your guys' help. I need to know what kind of videos you would like to see. I'm not going to start doing instruction stuff. I'm not an instructor and I want to stay out of that realm. More on the adventure side of things. I haven't posted anything because I had like writer's block on ideas on what to post for months now. I like doing, you know, heli adventures, camping trips, things like that. And, but I need some ideas for things that you'd be interested in that are not instruction based. So if you got some ideas, put them in the comments below and I'll start making a list. This helicopter is absolutely filthy, like dried mud all over the inside. We had a lot of rain a couple weeks ago and went out and landed, didn't realize how muddy it was, got out, and our shoes were caked with mud. Nothing we could really do about that. So not only was the inside of the helicopter muddy, but the skids were. I came back and landed at the airport and left mud all over the ramp. There's a restaurant in Scottsdale right next to the FBO that has an elevated patio that overlooks all the ramp, and so all the big jets are coming in. It's a cool restaurant. You can sit there, get a cheeseburger, and see all the ramp traffic. And nothing makes me happier than when I come in there, especially like after a camping trip or something, where the helicopters is absolutely filthy. I'm wearing boots. There's shit stacked to the top of this thing. Nothing makes me happier than when we come in there, and they usually land me right in front of the restaurant. There's two sides to it. One, you have an entire audience watching you, so you don't want to mess up your landing. But next to all these big jets and fancy cars and stuff like that, here we come in there making a mess of the ramp and absolutely filthy. And you feel like you pulled up an old pickup truck. You get out, slam the door, mud falls off. People usually at the restaurant are looking at me like, what in the world just rolled into here? We are about 10 minutes out from Yuma. We're going to go ahead and start climbing up a little bit because we got to get to this mountain range. And we'll go over to flight plan, open up Yuma, roll down to the ATIS, and to active, power, standby. Now we got our ATIS and tower frequencies plugged into COM 1.
Marine Corps Air Station Yuma Information Oscar 2157 Zulu. Weather. Wind tree 50 at 6, visibility 10. Sky clear. Temperature 27, dew point -5. Altimeter tree 009er. Sea level pressure 188. Surveillance approach runway 3 right. Visual approach runway 8. Pressure altitude 60. Runways 17, tree 5, and tree left closed. Work in progress runway 21, right under run. Warning, runway 21 right has been shortened. 10,800 feet available. Work in progress adjacent runway 3 right. Advise on initial contact, you have information Oscar.
Alright, information Oscar. Across this mountain range, and we're going to start dropping back down to 700, that's the pattern altitude. The helicopters in Yuma. Yuma's airport is also military, so it's pretty cool. It's where I grew up flying, and it wasn't unusual to have F-22s, F-35s, Ospreys, all the latest military aircraft in the pattern or flying around. And I didn't realize...
Tower, helicopter 892, Golf Tango, current lifted DCC with Oscar. I'd like to reposition to on feet Hill.
Chicago Tango, departure of airport on risk, wind 330 at 8, altimeter 3008, and proceed to the hospital.
Roger, be directed to the hospital, on risk, 892, Golf Tango.
And I didn't realize how unique that was until I got out of Yuma and started flying in other places. And it's kind of unusual to be, you know, I'll be on short final and look over and all the military helicopters are spooling up. So that's kind of cool. All right, we're 7.5. We'll wait half mile and give him a call. Yuma Tower, helicopter 505, Echo X-ray 7 to the east and inbound for a millionaire with information, Oscar.
505, Echo X-ray, Yuma Tower, X-ray into millionaire, landing bay, pilots on risk, wind 330 at 9.
Straight in millionaire, pilots on risk, 505, Echo X-ray. This is what I'm talking about. It's kind of cool. You get all this military aircraft, and then this is all the military side over here, civilian side, that side of the airport.
$50, $40, $30, $20, $10.
Alright guys, that is our flight to Yuma. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.